This week, Vice President J.D. Vance stunned leaders in Europe, questioning whether their values warranted defense by the United States. Vance spoke in Munich, painting a picture of European politics infected by media censorship and political correctness.
When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right. You know, it's offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So,
did you ever think you'd see Ricky Gervais and J.D. Vance on the same side of a political debate? The comedian and the politician have found unlikely common ground in their criticism of Keir Starmer and defense of free speech.
What? You know, so you can't second-guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one. With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues, and sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that. But, you know, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing nothing. You know?
In a surprising turn of events, Gervais praised Vance's recent speech for its honesty and directness. But what exactly did Vance say that caught Gervais' attention, and how does it relate to the ongoing debate about free expression in the UK? In the world of politics and entertainment, strange bedfellows are not uncommon. But when a British comedian known for his biting satire and an American politician with a conservative bent find themselves on the same side of an issue, it's worth taking notice. Ricky Gervais, the creator of The Office and notorious Golden Globes host, and J.D. Vance, the author of Hillbilly Elegy turned Ohio Senator, seem like an unlikely pair to share common ground.
It's not China, it's not any other external actor. And what I worry about is the threat from within.
The chill in the room gave way to real anger.
Yet, in the realm of free speech and political correctness, these two figures have found themselves unexpectedly aligned. Gervais, with his working-class roots and irreverent humor, has long been a thorn in the side of the Hollywood elite. His comedy often pushes boundaries, tackling taboo subjects with a gleeful disregard for social niceties. On the other hand, Vance, who rose from a troubled Appalachian upbringing to Yale Law School and eventually the U.S. Senate, represents a more traditional conservative voice. Despite their different backgrounds and public personas, both men have become vocal critics of what they see as an encroaching culture of censorship and political correctness. For years, Gervais has been at the forefront of the battle against cancel culture. His stand-up specials and social media presence are filled with unapologetic jokes that often target sensitive topics. He's famously said, "Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right." This attitude has earned him both devoted fans and fierce critics, but Gervais has remained steadfast in his belief that comedy should be free to offend. Vance, while navigating the treacherous waters of American politics, has similarly railed against what he calls woke culture. In his campaign and subsequent time in office, he's criticized what he perceives as an overly sensitive political climate that stifles free expression. Vance has argued that this culture is particularly prevalent in academia and the media, claiming it's creating a generation unable to handle diverse opinions. The unexpected alliance between Gervais and Vance came to light when the comedian publicly praised a speech by the senator criticizing UK free speech laws. Vance had taken aim at what he saw as overreach in British legislation, particularly around online speech. Gervais, never one to shy away from controversy, tweeted his support for Vance's stance, writing, "Couldn't agree more. Free speech is the bedrock of a free society." This moment of agreement between a left-leaning British comedian and a right-wing American politician highlighted the complex nature of the free speech debate. It demonstrated that concerns about censorship and the right to offend aren't confined to one side of the political spectrum. Moreover, it showed how figures from vastly different worlds can find common cause when it comes to defending what they see as fundamental liberties. In the world of politics, it's rare to find a figure who unites critics from across the spectrum. Yet Keir Starmer, the leader of the UK's Labour Party, has managed to do just that. His leadership style and communication tactics have drawn fire from both the sharp-tongued comedian Ricky Gervais and the outspoken American Senator J.D. Vance. But what is it about Starmer that has sparked such widespread criticism? At the heart of the matter lies Starmer's approach to answering questions, or rather, his apparent reluctance to do so. Public frustration has been mounting over Starmer's tendency to sidestep direct inquiries, leaving many feeling that his responses are riddled with ambiguity. A prime example of this evasiveness occurred when Starmer was repeatedly questioned about the timing of his approach to Sue Gray for a position within his team. Instead of providing a straightforward answer, Starmer danced around the issue, further fueling public exasperation. This pattern of behavior hasn't gone unnoticed by Ricky Gervais, who has taken aim at Starmer with his trademark wit. Gervais has publicly lambasted the Labour leader, highlighting what he sees as a glaring disconnect between Starmer's promises and his actions. The comedian argues that this discrepancy is symptomatic of a broader issue in politics, where leaders often prioritize political gain over genuine public service. Gervais' comedic takedowns of Starmer frequently focus on these perceived inconsistencies, using them to illustrate what he views as a lack of accountability and transparency in leadership. On the other side of the Atlantic, J.D. Vance has joined the chorus of Starmer's critics, but with a different focus. Vance has taken issue with Starmer's stance on free speech and immigration, arguing that his policies are part of a wider trend of suppressing individual rights in the UK. The American senator has pointed to recent legal actions regarding silent prayer near abortion clinics as evidence of this troubling shift. Vance's criticism goes beyond mere policy disagreements, suggesting that Starmer's approach represents a fundamental threat to personal freedoms. Public reaction to these criticisms has been mixed, reflecting the complex nature of political discourse. Some citizens have rallied behind Gervais and Vance, viewing their outspoken critiques as a necessary call for accountability. Others, however, see their approaches as overly harsh, questioning whether such pointed criticism contributes to constructive political dialogue. Regardless of where one stands on the issue, it's clear that the combined assault from Gervais and Vance has had a significant impact on public perception of Starmer. Many citizens are expressing a growing desire for more transparency and accountability from their leaders, particularly in light of recent controversies surrounding free speech. The critiques have tapped into a vein of public frustration, forcing many to reassess their views on political leadership and communication. The unlikely alliance between Ricky Gervais and J.D. Vance is more than just a curiosity. It's a potential game-changer for political discourse. Their collaboration highlights how individuals from vastly different backgrounds can find common ground on issues like free speech and accountability. This unexpected partnership challenges our preconceptions about political divides and forces us to reconsider our own stances on these critical issues. But what does this mean for the future of open debate in our democratic societies? As traditional political narratives are upended, we're left to wonder if these cross-ideological alliances will become more common. Could they be the key to breaking down the polarization that has gripped our political landscape? Or are they simply outliers in an increasingly divided world? As we grapple with these questions, one thing becomes clear: the importance of questioning authority and encouraging broader discussions has never been more crucial. The Gervais-Vance alliance serves as a reminder that sometimes the most impactful voices come from unexpected places. It challenges us to look beyond party lines and ideological boundaries, and to engage in the kind of open discourse that forms the bedrock of a truly free society.